a coin is tossed 10 times and the result's going to be recorded. So how many total possible outcomes are there going to be? Well, in this case, there's two possibilities for every flip. It's either heads or it's tails. So I'm going to say that there's two, and then since there's 10 total flips, it's 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 all the way down in all the slots. So I think 2 to the power of 10. All right. How many of those outcomes have exactly 5 heads? Now, what I want you to notice is that this is sort of a binary thing. It's either heads or it's tails. So for example, if I know the locations of all the heads, then that immediately tells me the locations of all the tails, because it's either heads or tails. So how many outcomes have exactly 5 heads? Well, I got to think about how can I choose which of those 10 flips are going to have heads. And because there's 5 of them, I want to choose 5 possible spots where they're going to be heads, and the remaining 5 spots are all going to be tails. So in other words, what I'm saying is that there's 10 total flips, 5 of them are heads, and I get to choose which of those flips have the 5 heads. So it's 10, choose 5. All right. How many outcomes have at least 7 heads? So notice here there's a couple possibilities. There's 7 heads, 8 heads, 9 heads, and 10 heads. So it's a sum of 4 different things. It's the sum of how many ways can you, from 10 possible flips, can you choose 7? But then I got to add. I got to add 10, choose 8, because that's how many have 8 flips. 10, choose 9, that's how many have 9 flips. And finally, 10, choose 10, which by the way is just 1. That would be the one cup case where every single one of them's heads. So when I look at the keyword of at least, the at least tells me it's 7, 8, 9, or 10, and then so I have to do one computation for each of those and add it up. All right. So now if I want to look at how many outcomes have at most 2 heads, this is sort of similar. The at most is similar to the at least, but it works on the other side. If it's at most 2 heads, it could be there's 0 heads, could be there's 1 head, or could be there's 2 heads. So I'm going to say 10, choose 0. That's the one way that they're all tails. I could then add the 10 different ways. 10, choose 1 will be 10. The 10 different ways I could have only 1 head. And then I add the 10, choose 2 different ways that there could be 2 heads. So pay a lot of attention to whether you say it's exactly, in which case it's only the 1, at least in case it's the 1 or higher, at most, or in which case it's the 1 or lower.